Good morning. My name is HCDA, Chairperson of the Authority. I'd like to now call to order the May 1st, 2024 Kalaeloa Authority meeting of the Hawaii Community Development Authority. And the time is now 10:51.
Thank you, Chair. In accordance with section 92-3.7 Hawaii Revised Statutes, the Hawaii Community Development Authority is holding today's Kalaeloa Board meeting virtually on Zoom. The Zoom link details were included on the meeting agenda. Therefore, members of the public are welcome to join us on Zoom and also at our physical meeting site at the American Brewery Building, 547 Queen Street, second floor, Boardroom, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96803. The HCDA communication staff is hosting this meeting. Once this meeting begins, everyone will be muted for clear audio. Board members, if you have any comments or questions, please unmute yourselves to speak. It is important that all individuals clearly state their name each time prior to speaking. This is a public, in-person, and virtual meeting, so to prevent any distractions, if you are attending virtually and you are not a board member, staff member, or HCDA's Attorney General, please turn off your video during the meeting. If you wish to provide oral testimony and you're attending virtually, please indicate so by clicking the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen. If you are attending in person, you will be called to the front of the room in the order that you signed up. All testimony will be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes. Your testimony must be related to an item on the agenda. Before you begin your testimony, we ask that you identify yourself and spell your name for the record. When 1 minute is remaining, 1 minute remains will be called up. When 30 seconds is remaining, 30 seconds remain will be called up. When time has elapsed, time will be called out, after which you will have 30 seconds to conclude your testimony, and then your audio will be turned off. If you are attending in person, the presiding officer will call the next testifier. Keep in mind that this is an opportunity to share your thoughts with us. If you ask questions during your testimony, neither the board nor the staff is required to provide an answer. If the authority's connection for the remote meeting is lost, the meeting will be recessed until the connection is restored. If the connection cannot be restored within 30 minutes, the meeting will be terminated and the authority will continue the meeting at another notice date. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. HCDA board members, please remain visible and audible during the meeting. Also, please acknowledge you're present by either saying here or present. Let the record reflect the following members are present. Vice Chair Higa.
Present.
Member Apo.
Present.
Member Johnson.
Present.
Member Anderson.
Present.
Member Strite.
Present.
Member Evans.
Present.
And
Member
Member Ray. Excuse. Okay. For today's meeting, board members will have an opportunity to ask questions or provide comments after an agenda item has been presented. Individuals from the public who have requested to provide verbal public testimony on a specific agenda item are on standby and will be permitted to provide their testimony respectively. Item number 1 on the agenda, regular meeting minutes of March 6, 2024. Board members, are there any comments or corrections to these minutes? If there are no comments or questions, the minutes are approved as presented. Item number 2, request to approve the Kalaeloa Community Development District operating budget for the fiscal year 2024-2025 in the amount not to exceed $375,000 and authorize the issuance of land user assessments in the amount not to exceed $375,000 pursuant to Hawaii Revised Statutes Section 206E-196. Mr. Garrett Sasaki, Chief Financial Officer, will now present the report. Garrett.
Thank you, Chair, members. The staff reports included in tab 2 of your packet. The amount is the same as last year for the operating budget. The actual expenditures, just so you know, is above this amount, but this is the amount we determined that we need to recover from the district for our administrative operating costs. So the breakdown is on page 2 or table 1. Table 2 lists the landowners and the proportionate share of the assessments. I do have to note that Hunt did share a revised table for their properties that changes the allocation. The assessment amount will remain the same, just some of the assessment letters to the various companies will be adjusted from this table too. That's all I have.
And how did Hunt, what did Hunt,
They conveyed property to Gentry September 2023. So we'll just verify that and reallocate the acreage from Hunt to Gentry. Some of the other subsidiaries or companies they control, there is a change in the allocation. The total area is still the same. It's just where the letter goes to.
I see. Okay. Member Evans?
Garrett, I note on table one, repair and maintenance seems to be a very de minimis amount, 15,000. Do you have a general ballpark figure of what the actual repair and maintenance would be for the Kalaeloa Community Development District? I would guess it's more than that.
It is more than that. Specific to the district, we have landscaping of certain medians that we're responsible for. So this amount covers most of that. Part of this budget is also an allocation of the cost to run this building. So the repairs and maintenance that happen for this building, supplies we use, there's a portion of that cost that's allocated to Kalaeloa. So that's where this budget number comes from.
Sure, I have a different.
Sure, Member Evans?
I know that there are several, public agencies that are landowners, in the district. Has there been any concerns about public agencies, paying their assessment?
From this list, no. All of these landowners that are assessed typically pay their assessment.
Okay.
What's not included in this table is DOT airports. The district total is 3,000 acres. So they are excluded from the calculation, as well as roadways within the district.
Okay. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, and if I can expand on that, so remember, as we check with DOT airports about this assessment, because as we're putting this together, and there are some federal rules that prevent them from paying this kind of assessment. So I checked with Airports Director Fujigami about this, and this had come up before, but I think in coming up with this assessment, I wanted to confirm with Director Fujigami that that was still the case. He did confirm that, so that's why DOTA is not on this list.
Oh, and I'm sorry, one last piece. Any federal government owned lands, that's part of the statute. It's,
Are excluded.
yes, excluded.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Chair.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions or comments? If not, is there any public testimony? No public testimony? Okay, let's go to the motion. Do I have a motion for the board to approve the Kalaeloa Community Development District operating budget for the fiscal year 2024-2025 in the amount not to exceed $375,000, and to authorize the issuance of land user assessments in the amount not to exceed $375,000 pursuant to the Hawaii Revised Statute Section 206E-196. Do I have a motion?
Member
Chair,
Oposo moves.
Member Higa seconds.
Okay, Member Upall move, second by Member Higa. Members, are there any further discussions on this motion?
Chair, also, we will make the tweaks that Garrett talked about for the Hunt properties too.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you. If not, I'll ask Garrett to take the roll call. Garrett?
On that motion, Member Uphold,
Aye.
Member Higa,
Aye.
Member Miranda Johnson,
Aye.
Member Anderson,
Aye.
Member Straits. Aye. Member Evans.
Aye.
And Chair Ishii.
Aye.
Motion passes. 7 yes, 1 excused.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda item, the report of the executive director, monthly report and other status reports. Approved permit applications that did not require HRS 2206 E 5.6 public hearings. Executive director will now present the monthly report. Executive Director Nakamoto.
Thank you, Chair. So the report is in tab 3 of your packet. I won't really go over it, but it's all summarized there with the permits that didn't require hearings, and then a report from Kalaeloa Heritage and Legacy Foundation, which is a regular report that they provide. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Executive Director Nakamoto. Members, are there any questions or comments in regards to the Executive Director report? If not, is there any public testimony? All right, well, thank you. For those of you who joined us on Zoom or in person, this concludes our business for today. And the meeting is now adjourned and the time is 11:02. Thank you.
Chair, thank you, members.
Thank you, members.
Aloha.
Thank you.
2 minutes over.